Just real quick, I want to tell you about the rope that I'm using for the video. This is a Viento tri-lead poly. It's our heaviest poly rope, and it's also got a ton of life. It's really great for these big draping fancy heel shots. I've modified the rope just a little bit so you can see some of the finer details throughout the video. And what I've done here is about 16 foot up the rope, I've started placing little pieces of electrical tape. And what that's for is so when I release my loop, you'll be able to see how much rope is coming out of my hand as the spoke slides and my loop travels to its destination. So maybe that'll just help you get a little idea on how far the shot is, how much spoke is sliding out during the shot. So the first on our list right here on the general shot details is smoothness. Now what I mean by that is just being fluid or smooth throughout your swing, release, and while guiding your loop through the air. Once you get out there and start throwing this loop, you'll understand what I'm saying about being smooth. If you're jerky or too fast when releasing your loop, it just wads up in the air and it doesn't really do right. So I constantly tell myself when I go to deliver this shot to be smooth and fluid throughout my swing and my delivery, and then once your loop's in the air, being fluid with your spoke sliding through your hand and guiding your loop into the hip. All of those things are very, very important for this shot to one, look really good, and two, make contact with the calf properly. The second detail we're going to talk about is spoke control. And all this is allowing your spoke to run through your hand with little to no friction as your loop's traveling through the air. And what this does is it allows you to maintain constant contact with your loop throughout the entire shot. So you have a lot of control over where your loop goes, and when you're going to bring it back in to set the trap, your hand's already there on the spoke. So the last general detail we're going to talk about is the position of your calf. And all I mean by that is you want to make sure that your calf is in a favorable position for your trap to get set. So you need to be paying really close attention to the calf's feet, making sure that they're far enough apart that your loop can come in and do what it needs to do. If they're not, you just need to communicate with your header back and forth, make him take a step, see if he'll walk backwards or whatever you need to do to get that calf in the right spot for your loop to have enough room to slap under the animal and to try to catch 2 feet.